Welcome back to the news at 10. A healthy environment is an important aspect of development, and the Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano is mandating his team to achieve this. The governor gave the charge to 200 brigade officers at the passing out and inauguration in Awka, the Anambra State capital. The brigade is an initiative that targets youth empowerment and improving the welfare of people in the areas of environment and health.
Governor Willie Obiano arrives and is welcomed by the brigade commander of the Environment Task Force and state officials. He's here to inspect and commission the Batch B of the OAR Brigade, a total of 200 officers.
Return into column. Body center. Right way. Slow much up.
Clearing the air on the duties of the OAR Brigade, Governor Obiano enjoins them not to be overzealous, but understand their roles as a support group.
It is important that we let all of you know that early enough. You spent over 6 weeks in training, mostly on learning the laws of the state, on etiquette, and on policy in handling matters. We don't want you to take laws into your hand and begin to behave like as if you are a police. You are not police.
A clean Anambra is the reason this outfit was set up. These young men and women are saddled with the task of ridding the state of filth, a responsibility that will challenge the very limits of their energy.
And in the spirit of the Ramadan season, the Ogun State government has organized a lecture tagged Islam, Muslims and the Fight Against Corruption to once again drum up support for the fight. Speaking on the topic, the Chief Imam of the University of Port Harcourt advocated stiffer punishment for corrupt practices.
It's the 6th annual special Ramadan lecture organized by the Ogun State government. The governor and his wife, including traditional rulers, members of the federal and state assemblies, among other dignitaries, are in attendance. The theme for this year's discussion is Islam, Muslims and the Fight Against Corruption. The guest lecturer, who is the chief imam of the University of Port Harcourt, says none is spared from blame when it comes to the issue of corruption.
You give them honorary award, you give them head, and you give them chieftaincy either in the mosque or in palaces. How can anybody say that corruption does not pay? So when you reward these people, the people look at it as them as Mashiva, Shivas and Kaliba. Those who are many, and people who want to do the same thing.
Lending his voice to this, Governor Ize-Iyamu attributes unfulfilled promises by governments at all levels to the endemic nature of corruption, which he says has continued to slow down the pace of development.
And living by the golden rule which admonishes that we do to others as we want others to do to us, poses the core principles for eliminating corruption in our society. By the observance of these tenets of Islam, we will ensure a just, accountable, corrupt-free, non-violent and peaceful policy. As lead Muslims, we must be shining example in all our endeavors, live according to the dictates of the Holy Quran and Hadith and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
He also took the opportunity to solicit for more support and understanding for his administration.
We therefore look forward to your continued cooperation, prayers and support as we unwaveringly committed to enhance both the spiritual and physical needs of our people.
There's no doubt that the issue of corruption is on the front burner in the country at the moment, being one of the campaign promises of the Buhari-led administration. Lectures like this one only serve as a reminder to all that everyone has a role to play in ensuring that the war on corruption is effectively won.
Let's take a look at some sports now. Here's Charles Aruka.
Thanks, Ijoma. Welcome to Sports News. Chairman of Nigeria's Ministerial Sports Reform Committee, Godwin Kienka, says the committee has made progress towards restructuring and repositioning the country's sports. Mr. Kienka told Channels Television that part of the recommendation from the committee is to ensure that funding of future Olympic Games is kept away from government.
We're going for the Olympic Games. People were screaming, oh, no preparation, no camp, no nothing. And the point is that who is responsible for preparing Olympic athletes? It is the Nigerian Olympic Committee, not the ministry. But there has been a lot of racketeering and insincerity of purpose in the system for too long, because the ministry goes and makes a huge budget, 7 billion for Commonwealth Games or one big budget for the Olympics, when it is not their business. Okay, because it's becoming a racket. They can get money from government and they don't have to account for it. They can latch on propaganda of patriotism and not have to. So the point is, now we can specifically say that this is your responsibility, go do it. You have the lottery funds, you have the national sports development funds and all that to do these things. And we don't need government. We don't need government in every sector of there are places they can come through, and that has been done. And we've also done the grassroots structure in such a way that the process of producing athletes to become world champions.
And the women's under-17 basketball team has departed for Spain for the FIBA Under-17 World Cup. The junior Tigresses will play in Group A at the tournament that will dunk off from June the 22nd through July the 2nd. Nigeria is drawn in Group A that also includes Latvia, Japan and Canada. The team will open their campaign against Canada on Wednesday, June the 22nd, then face Japan on Thursday, June the 23rd, while their final group game is against Latvia on Saturday, June the 25th. In football, England played a goalless draw with Slovakia to finish second in the Euro 2016 Group B and qualify for the knockout phase behind Wales, who beat Russia 3-0 in their final match. Wales topped the group with 6 points ahead of England on 5, 1 ahead of Slovakia, who could also reach the last 16 as one of the best third-placed teams. England, who made 6 changes from the side that started their 2-1 win over Wales, dominated the first half, and Jamie Vardy missed a good chance to put them ahead. England continued to enjoy the lion's share of possession after half-time, but there were few clear opportunities. And that's it on Sports News. Back to Ijoma with the rest of the news at 10.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Now, the UN says 65.3 million people have been identified worldwide as either refugees, asylum seekers, or internally displaced. And nearly half the number are from Syria, Afghanistan, and Somalia. Here's Adeshewa Josh with more.
The UN High Commission for Refugees says the continent has been the most affected by the refugee crisis, putting the estimated figure at 16 million. These people are either displaced or forced to flee to other countries. Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency says Nigeria is preparing to receive at least 80,000 Nigerian refugees who have fled the Boko Haram insurgency in Cameroon. Bahrain has stripped the Sunni-ruled kingdom's most prominent Shia cleric of his citizenship. An interior ministry accused Sheikh Issa Qasim of using his position to serve foreign interests and promote sectarianism and violence. The cleric, who holds the religious rank of Ayatollah, has reportedly backed protests led by the majority Shia community for greater civil and political rights. Finally, the campaign manager for the presumptive Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump is to leave his job. A campaign spokeswoman said Corey Lewandowski would no longer be working with Mr. Trump, saying the team is grateful to him for his hard work and dedication. The exact reason for Mr. Lewandowski's departure is not yet clear, but sources close to Mr. Trump say he was fired. That's the foreign news wrap-up. Ize-Iyamu.
Thanks, Adeshawa. And on entertainment news tonight, Nigerian filmmaker Pascal Atuma pulls off a star-studded premiere for his latest film. Here's Mayowa Ogundile with more.
Many thanks. Here are your trending entertainment stories. The prestigious Grammy Museum, which creates an interactive educational museum devoted to the history and winners of the Grammy Awards, is set to unveil a brand new exhibit, Sounds of Africa. Sounds of Africa will showcase and celebrate the unique diversity of African music and spotlight African winners and nominees of both the Grammy Awards and the BET Awards. Selected acts from Africa include Angelique Kidjo, Tubaba Idibia, Ice Prince, Victor Wifo, Salif Keita, and many others. The exhibits will feature handwritten lyrics, costumes, and rare instruments from the selected artists. Finally, the Pascal Atuma-directed Bloodlines has premiered in Nigeria. The movie, which stars acclaimed Hollywood stars including Billy D. Williams and Lynn Whitfield, hits the cinemas in Lagos via a red carpet event attended by some of the big names in Nigerian entertainment industry. Multiple award-winning singer Wizkid has slammed reports by his colleague Shay that he owned rights to the Drake's hit single One Dance. The Starboy music star reacted via his Twitter handle after Shay said in an interview in Jamaica that the track belonged to Wizkid and not Drake. Wizzy, as he is often called, said in his tweet, and I quote, "Don't say what you know nothing about. Hashtag shut up." End of quote. Shay has since apologized for her comments. And that's it on entertainment. Many thanks for watching. Let's head back to the main news.
Thanks a lot, Mayowa. And the main news again. The president today resumed work following his return from the UK. President Buhari announced his resumption via his Twitter handle, saying, quote, "This morning with Vice President Professor Oshibajo in my office. Good to be back at work." Welcome back, Mr. President. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Ize-Iyamu Onyato. You have a good night.